Great Britain's soil lie iron, limestone, clay, tin, and many other of the minerals and ores she needs for her great industries. Today, her workers are bringing millions of tons of these ores to the surface, with which to make guns and tanks, shells and ships, vast new munition factories, aeroplane hangars, and defense structures. They are using the giant excavation machines which British engineers perfected in peacetime. With speed and power, these machines are cutting new inland waterways. They are draining marshy swampland so that more food can be grown. They are carving out railways, docks and harbours and getting them cleared after bombing rain. These excavators with their teeth of steel move powerfully behind Britain's war effort. This shovel-type excavator, built in Britain, digs limestone for cement. It weighs over 140 tons. Each scoop of the bucket takes away from the pit face more than 4 tons of limestone. Railways specially laid from the pits carry away the limestone to be made into cement for new factories and roads, for repairing bridges and reconstructing buildings. Another type of excavator is the drag line. It is operated by a powerful electric motor, and the bucket is dragged towards the machine by a steel wire rope. This type of excavator is mostly used for cutting at a level below where the machine must stand. It does the preliminary work of removing the topsoil, and afterwards is also used for digging the ore or stone itself. The bucket brings up as much as 5 tons of ore at a time. Swinging across the gully at a rate of 25 miles an hour, it deposits its load 200 feet away on the far bank, out of the way. The walking dragline excavator is a remarkable engineering achievement. 1,000 tons of steel structure that walks, carrying a complete electrical generating plant. It can move along the edge of the pit it is working at a rate of 1/4 mile an hour. The floats at the side propel it along like feet, and the huge base has a heel and toe movement to prevent suction. Choked field drains cannot carry off surplus moisture from the land. The soil becomes waterlogged and useless. Since the war started, Britain has put some 6 million more acres under food cultivation. Much of this has been reclaimed land, cleared and drained by the great excavators, which can cut in a week the ditches it took men months to dig. These machines have enabled nature to go to work again. Acres of soil become fruitful with more food. In the iron ore fields, the excavators are now busy hewing the material for the country's armament factories and shipbuilding yards. In some of these pits, both power draglines and shovels are used. The first removing the topsoil, the others excavating the ore beneath. Manual labor is left free to operate the machines and tidy the topsoil so that the land can be put back into cultivation. Iron ore pits need no longer be scars in the landscape. Agriculture and industry progress side by side. This stripping machine weighs close on 700 tons. The boom which controls the bucket's movement is 100 feet long. It works with such speed and precision that it can dig and dump a 15-ton load every minute. Every day, 5,000 tons of topsoil are cut away to get at the mineral beneath. The ironstone here lies 65 feet below the surface. 2 excavators are employed on the topsoil. The big shovel bucket removes and dumps the topsoil on the side. A drag line on the higher level picks it up and carries it away to the top. Another bucket excavator hews the ore and piles it into the waiting trucks. The ore is taken from the pit by railroad, sometimes to yards where the raw mineral is burned out in the open air. Coal fires are lit underneath, and excavators throw on the ore ton by ton till it towers to the sky. In this way, the moisture is driven out of the ore so that when it goes to the blast furnaces, it is lighter for transport and more economical to handle. When the ore is burned enough, excavators again load it onto trucks. It then goes to the blast furnaces, where it becomes the iron and steel that are Britain's strength. Iron and steel for guns, for shells, for armor plating, for the steel girders that fibre the vast new factories. In other parts of Britain, excavators are digging clay for the bricks demanded in millions for the new factories and other structures of war. At this pit, they dig clay for 12 million bricks a week. One bucket of clay will make 3,000 bricks. Topsoil is first removed by excavators and dumped onto an overhead conveyor belt. This carries it away from the digging face and deposits it 200 feet away in mounds in the pit from which the clay has already been removed. Huge shovel, the largest in the world for digging brick clay, then goes to work. Here comes clay for the bricks that are building Britain strong for war. Clay for the bricks that will reconstruct Britain in peace. Railway trucks that carry the clay to the brickworks pass beneath a hopper. The excavator bucket tips the clay in at the top so that it comes through broken up and ready to be ground and pressed into bricks. These machines, which bite into the hardest rock as a boy bites cake, are a power behind Britain's war factories and plant, behind the canals that drain her productive acres and the reservoirs that keep fresh water available for 48 million people, behind the speed and safety of her electric supply and communications, and the concrete and bricks that shelter her war workers preparing the weapons of attack. These machines with their teeth of steel are working for Britain at war. They will help tackle the tasks of world reconstruction that await the peace.